half. And we're going to start off with a little bit of just movement to let the things start flowing. So, if you've been sitting or standing or, generally stagnant for part of the day today, this is a chance to get going with your body and sort of get in touch with how your body's feeling today. So just starting off, feet wide apart, hands on your hips, just doing a nice big circle with your hips here. And being mindful as you do this so that you're taking time to notice, like, oh gosh, when I go over here, it feels really good. Or when I go too far forward with my hips, that does not feel so good. And we're just taking a little notice of what your body's in the mood for today, how it's feeling, maybe reverse direction, play with the size of the circle that you're creating with your hips. Maybe try bending your knees. So I'm doing this circle that's also targeting my ankles here. You can feel my ankles moving a little bit differently when I move my knees and allow a little bend to happen. I'm also getting a little bit further into the hips. And now, if you feel comfortable standing on one leg, hold on to something solid if you do not, and do a little circle through your knee, almost like you're stirring a big cauldron with your foot here. And then we're gonna make a circle with our ankle. You definitely don't have to have your foot up as high as I do. I'm just trying to make sure that it's visible. You could even rest your heel on the ground, right? Let's switch to the other side. So lifting up through the knee, just so you can see a little bit better, I'll do sideways. And I'm stirring nice big old cauldron with my foot. And then I'm going to do some circles for my ankle. Just to wake up the muscles surrounding the joints and get my body ready to move. Go ahead and put your feet both flat on the ground here. We're going to do a couple of lunges going forward next. If you feel most confident holding on to something, you absolutely could for this because you might choose to get a little deeper into it. If you feel safe, you might choose to get a little bit deeper. So stepping forward, nice big step, coming down as low as you feel comfortable, and then stepping back, alternating between the two sides. As you do this, if you keep your pelvis tucked, you might notice a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. Beautiful. Just a few more to get the muscles a little bit warmer so that it'll be more comfortable to stretch. Beautiful. And then I'm going to come back to facing you. We're going to do a little bit of squatting. So when I'm squatting, I'm of course keeping my core engaged and my chest upright, as far upright as I can. I'm also going to be bending through my hips and my knees and my ankles, and my knees are going to stay tracking over my second and third toes. So I get to decide how far apart my feet are and the angle that my feet might be at, but I do want my knees to be tracking over second and third toe. So I'm going to squat down as far as is comfortable for me. And then I'm going to reach up, even going up on my tippy toes here. Going back and forth at your own pace to the depth that feels good to you. Could certainly go faster than I'm going. Beautiful. Couple more here. Taking time to notice, again, how your body's feeling all the way at the bottom. And then how your body's feeling all the way at the tippy top. Back and forth. If you want to hang out at the bottom and rock back and forth here, maybe even using your hands to get a nice little inner thigh stretch, that can be really wonderful. You could also add in a little bit of a twist, dropping your right shoulder down, twisting through your spine, and then alternating, switching sides. Taking a really deep breath here. Beautiful. One more moment for you to find any areas that you might want to explore here. Maybe sinking down a little bit deeper. And coming on out. From here, let's take a moment to warm up the backs of our legs. You can hold on to something. You can remain upright. You could also tip over and be supported on a desk. However you feel comfortable. You're gonna bring the left heel up towards the ceiling and then bend through the knee here. Straighten and come down. Come back up again. Draw a little circle. Bend. Come on down. Check in with your hip bones, making sure that they're staying square to the floor underneath you as well as the wall in front of you. One more time. See if you can get a little higher, a little closer towards the ceiling. And then come down. And we'll do the right leg. Bringing it up towards the ceiling, bending through the knee, straightening, and coming down. So nice and slow and controlled, hopefully being able to feel that muscle. Draw a circle this time. Bend through your knee. And come down. One more time on the right side. Bring that heel up towards the ceiling. Bending through the knee. Let's see if I can go up a little higher. Checking with the hip bones. Of course, beautiful. They're still where they're supposed to be. Nice. And coming on down. So from here, we're going to do a little hip, not hip flexor, hamstring stretch. And for this one, I'd love it if you have your hands supported on something. Could be a wall, could be your own legs, but if your hands are supported, it's easier to keep your back flat, which can help push the stretch into the hamstring rather than having it target the lower back. So from here, I'm going to rest my hands on my stool that I have here, and I'm going to bring my right foot forward. I'm going to have my left foot back. It could be bent or straight. And then I'm going to make sure that I'm tipping the top of my pelvis down towards the floor so that I'm targeting the hamstring in that straight right leg. From here, I'm going to take a moment to breathe and settle in. I might bend that left leg to get into that stretch a little bit more. I might drive my right hip bone back. I might tip the top of my pelvis a little bit more close to that leg, a little further down towards the ground to intensify the stretch. Or I could even flex and point through the ankle. Always to find some good angles and manipulate the stretch. Breathing into it here. Everybody go ahead and draw your right hip back in space and then your right hip forward in space, twisting through the hips to find angles that feel really nice here. Point through your ankle and then flex your ankle. So pointing would be straightening out through your foot and lower leg, and then flexing being more of a right angle. Nice. And from here, we're going to switch sides. So now I'm bringing my right leg back, my left leg forward, and then I'm settling into that stretch. So finding that sweet spot where it's not so intense that it's uncomfortable, and it's not so easy that I can't even feel the stretch. So I'm bending through my right leg, my standing leg, so that I can get the right angle. I'm tipping the top of my pelvis towards the ground. Drawing my left hip back in space now. And I'm pointing and flexing through that left ankle. And I'm breathing. Never forget to breathe. Keep playing with those angles, finding those sweet spots and honoring them. And then go ahead and make sure that you drop the left hip, drive the left hip back, and drive it forward. Back and forth. Beautiful. All right, and now we're gonna stand on up. We did at the backs of our legs, so we want to take a moment to take care of the fronts of our legs now. So we've got our hip flexors right here, sort of where the quad meets the core, and we want to give them a little gift. So the lunge position is really nice for that. I'm going to have the left leg back now, right leg forward. And I'm just going to go ahead and pay attention to my pelvis, tucking it under, almost like I have a tail and I'm tucking that under. And then I'm going to sort of sink into the stretch. So seeing if I can get a little more stretch by dropping down, by driving the left hip forward here. And I can also reach up and over with my left arm to change the stretch here. Feel free to hold on to something if balance is an issue. We stretch for self-care, so we definitely want to take care of our body as we do it. Take a moment to breathe, do a really deep breath, and then let it all go. Bring the arm down and come on up, and we'll do the other side. So now I have my left leg going forward, my right leg going back. I'm tucking through my pelvis, and then I'm going to sink into this stretch. I'm going to notice if this side is a little bit different than the other side was too. I know on myself, I can really feel some side-to-side differences some days. And then if it feels good, go ahead and add the arm. So I'm bringing my right arm up and over. It changes the stretch slightly and can intensify it a little bit. Keeping that pelvis tucked as we're here, go ahead and take a really nice, huge breath in. And then release it out all the way. And bring your arm down to the side. Legs back together to a comfortable width. And we're just going to do a few shoulder rolls. Feeling your back get a nice stretch as the points of your shoulders come forward, up towards the ears, and then feeling your chest open as your shoulders come down and back. Nice and long and tall through our spine here. Beautiful. Take a moment for your neck to just get a little bit of a twist in. Bringing my chin over my left shoulder and then over my right shoulder. Back and forth. And if you would like to add to the twist by twisting a little bit further and adding the twist to the rest of your spine, you could do that as well. Make sure to give the same gift to your other side if you did that to the left, adding the twist through the rest of the spine. Beautiful. Go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest, allowing the back of your neck to relax and have a little bit of a stretch. If it feels nice to bring your hands back to the back of your head and do a little bit of a massage, just a little bit of squeezing down your neck. Nice. And then go ahead and reach your chin up towards the ceiling, thinking about length through your neck as you do it, and coming back to a neutral head position. that's our 15 minutes, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Take care.